Hello, this is Jeff Charlton with Graphic Connections Group. I'm the direct mail guy. Today I'd like to talk about a topic that we get asked all the time. People ask, what is the average or typical response rate I can expect from a mail piece? Well, the answer to that is there is no typical response rate. Response rates vary dramatically based on a lot of variables. Variables such as the type of mailing list, who's on the mailing list, the type of mail piece, the offer, the dollar amount of the offer, when you mail it, the type of postage you use. There's all kinds of things that affect response rates. As a result, there is no average response rate. A more important question that you need to be asking yourself is what is the return on investment from a mail piece? What return on investment is how much money did you actually make as a result of this mail campaign? Not because it doesn't really matter what your response rate is. What matters is how much do you make out of that? How many people end up saying yes to your actual offer, and how much profit is in that when they say yes? So let's just talk about an example to illustrate this a little clearer. In the response rate world, let's say you do a mailing of 100 pieces of mail and you spend $1 for each piece of mail. So 100 pieces of mail is going to cost you $100. Let's say you get 10 people to respond. So that means 10 people responded out of 100, which is a 10% response rate. Now, most people, if you're only asking about response rates, would think that 10% is a fantastic response rate. However, let's also assume that your particular product is worth $1,000. When you make one sale, it's worth $1,000 to you. And let's assume out of this fictitious mailing we're talking about, you mailed 100, 10 people responded with interest, but you're unable to get anybody to actually say yes to your $1,000 offer. So in this case, you had 0 sales, but you had a 10% response rate. So what was your return on investment? Well, you invested $100. Remember, we spent $100 to mail the 100 pieces of mail, but we got $0 back. So in effect, you had a 0% or 0 return on investment, which in anybody's book, that's not very good. Now let's look at another example. Let's say you mail the same 100 pieces of mail, but you only got one person to respond. So that's a 1% response rate, which in most people's world, they would think that's not very good. However, let's say that one person happens to be a very qualified prospect and you are able to get them to say yes to your $1,000 offer. So you make $1,000 on your one lead. Remember, you mailed 100, one responded, so you got a 1% response rate, but you earned $1,000 profit. You only spent 100, so you could say that's a 10-to-1 return on investment. So in that case, the return on investment is excellent, even though the response rate was not so great. So what you need to focus on is return on investment, not so much on response rates. Now they are related because obviously if you don't have leads, it's kind of hard to close people on the leads. But what's most important is getting qualified leads, leads that you can close more easily on your ultimate sale. This is Jeff, the direct mail guy, and have a great day. I'll take that.